we've been experimenting, tinkering for one of the common problem that is the root cause analysis or CWE. And I'm particularly very excited about using AI to solve very systemic problem that has been taxing us for ages. But maybe back on that subject, the security by design, a lot of the CISO regulation have been pushing us to fix root cause of particular vulnerability. Now, me and you, we've been tinkering with vulnerability for most of our life. We know what a CWE, a CV is, but for the new folks that comes into this industry, why is it so difficult to get to the root cause of a specific problem? Why do we have these systems that are hyper complex?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of factors there, but some that come to mind is like we get into this habit when we get into an organization or just get into the career field of like, you run a tool, you run a scan, it produces findings, and these have CVE IDs, for example, and you just get in the habit of kind of fixing things and mitigating things, looking at the number of vulnerabilities and those kind of trends, and never stepping back and looking at like root causes or CWE IDs, like you talked about, kind of these recurring weaknesses that are occurring over and over. We're just kind of in this pack hamster wheel of like address the issue but never step back and understand the kind of root cause of it. So I think people start to as they get into their career a little bit longer, they get a little bit more mature. Maybe they say, hey, I've seen this problem like many times now, like what is causing it, like what's the root cause here, like how do we actually address this rather than just kind of be on this hamster wheel. But I will say, some of that has to do with the differences in terms of whether you're a consumer, right? Everyone's a consumer and a producer in some sense of software. But, I say this in the context of if I'm producing a product, it's kind of on me, right, to take that onus to fix these systemic kind of root causes rather than just pushing down, vulnerability disclosures and notifications to my consumer and telling them, hey, you need to patch, hey, you need to patch. And like you might be patching the same kind of CWE or weakness over and over again rather than the vendor, right, the people producing the product or that you're consuming, fixing it themselves. So it really depends in terms of your who you are and that kind of consumer versus producer paradigm.